What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of ThirdEyeCyphs. How are you doing? How are you doing? I feel like every time I do an episode, I'm like, how are you? Because I want you to check in with yourself, guys. I put this I put this like microphone cap thing on my microphone. I never used it before. I don't know why. It's kind of like the like the filter foam thing that goes on microphones, so like it takes away the noise. And it has cat hair all over it. It's not like disgusting, but there's cat hair on it. Yeah, don't imagine something disgusting. It's not disgusting. Anyways, don't be mad at me, guys. I forgot today was Friday, so it is 12 right now, and I'm recording this. I didn't forget about you guys. I just forgot it was Friday. Why did I forget it's Friday? Well, my schedule has just been, I'm trying to get it back on track, but it's just been like everywhere right now. Mainly because, I just finished moving. Last week's episode, like literally this whole room that I'm in right now was full of boxes. Now there's no boxes. Everything is unpacked, in place. It's just kind of messy because I made it messy. But everything is okay. I have like a new little altar set up. What I was gonna do was when I had my apartment, it was a studio, so I had like a divider dividing the kitchen area from like my bedroom space. So what I was gonna do, and this is like a pretty small room now that I'm in, so I was gonna use the divider and like divide a separate space for like my altar space, so I could have like a little private altar space, but it just wouldn't have worked. Maybe it would have, but I like this open layout. I have everything like against the walls now, so I have like a good floor space for yoga, and kind of everyth's on the floor. Like I decided not to set up my bed frame just because I kind of want like a floor kind of thing going on here. So I'm sitting in front of my little altar space right now. It's super cute. I'll post a picture on my Instagram soon. But yeah, my schedule has been a little like rough lately. I've just been unpacking. I just finished maybe like 3 days ago with everything set up. Maybe 2 days ago, I'm not too sure. And also I'm only working my yoga job right now. Usually I work at the restaurant, but they don't have hours for me at the moment. So right now I'm looking for another job, while also filing for unemployment, or like partial unemployment, because I'm still working for the yoga studio, but like very barely. So yeah, it's just been kind of like rough personally, just because like, I have that in my head, like, oh man, I need to get a job kind of thing. Just because like, what the heck, like I'm out here, I don't want to say I'm out here alone, because I have like friends and my boyfriend and stuff like that. But like financially, like I'm financially independent. So like I don't want to like ask my family for like money and stuff like that, because I don't really have to, but like it makes me nervous like not working a lot right now, just because, well, what the heck, I have to pay rent, I have to eat and stuff like that. But that's like every common issue. So it's kind of just like getting back on schedule and trying not to fall into like doubt and stuff like that. So yeah, we're gonna be talking a little about that today, because I feel like, well, like I'm not the only person going through this situation. A lot of people, like this whole virus stuff is like affecting everyone, like mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually. I know I've said in like previous episodes how I don't want to talk about this anymore, but I have to, just because it's what's happening, and I'm trying to get through this and help you guys get through this as well. So with that being said, let's begin. I did a card reading for us finally, because last week, well, not finally, I just skipped a week, because last week I was like half dead. I was like, guys, I was dead. Like I had been physically doing stuff for like nonstop 5 days. Like first it was packing, like rush packing, then it was moving, packing, moving, cleaning more, unpacking. Like it was just nonstop physical stuff, and it was a lot. I couldn't. And I skipped like 7 days of yoga. How dare I? No, I skipped. I feel like I've skipped, well, overall, I feel like I've skipped more than that, but, like 7 days straight, and then, like, if you guys don't know, like, if you do yoga, if you don't do yoga, like, literally a few days pass, and you tense up so easily. Like, I was getting to a point where I was, like, so flexible, and then I skipped, like, all these days, and I can barely fucking move. Like, it's insane. But that's why it's, like, consistent. Like, that's why you have to keep it consistent, because then your body gets used to, like, you know, being that flexible, you know, so it won't really, like, revert back as fast. So yeah, I did, like, my first session yesterday, and I'm dumb. I, like, jumped right into, like, an hour vinyasa intermediate flow, just because that's what I'm used to doing, and I literally could not go through half of it. I was just like, I'm too weak for this. Like, I need to, like, rebuild my strength and stuff. But, yeah, I don't know how I started talking about that. I did a card reading for you guys. Yes, back to that. And, well, here it is. So the first card, okay, I pulled 2 cards, guys. I know I said I was only gonna keep pulling 1, but, you know, sometimes when you need further explanation, you just have to pull more cards. The most I'll pull is 4, okay? The most I'll pull is 4. I think the first time I did a card reading, I pulled 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I pulled 3. And then the rest of the times has been 1 card. So this time I pulled 2 cards, okay, guys? And it's not because I need a further explanation, but because I saw this kind of as, like, needing a second card. And you'll understand why. So the first card you got was Walking Away. Walking Away. And the card shows, and I'm pulling from the Energy Oracle card deck, from Sandra Ann Taylor. Sandra Ann Taylor. This is, like, my original deck. This is the deck I usually pull from. I pulled from the spirit animal card because I was staying with my teacher and she had those really cool cards. But my roommate had some pretty cool cards. I might ask to borrow them. Or you guys can send me some cards, huh? Send me some cards. Yeah, DM me on Instagram about that. I will gladly do readings with cards that you send me. Okay, so yes, Walking Away. And this picture, it shows a girl kind of, like, walking out of a gate, like walking away from wherever, like, the viewer is, I guess you can say, and then closing the gate behind her. So this card represents letting go and moving on. Now, I kind of wanted to see the result of this, like, what happens when you let go and move on, you know, like, what comes after that. So that's why I pulled the second card. But we'll talk about that second card in a second. So more about the letting go and moving on. This is a time to, well, let go and move on. I think that we're coming to see things in our life that weren't working or that we're not really passionate about, and we don't see a future with it. So this is kind of the time that we're letting go and moving on, and we're not really sure how to. So we're more in the stage of, okay, I want to let this go, but now what I do. And that's kind of what the second card represents. What do we do? So what this card is saying, this Walking Away card, is that it's safe and comfortable to move on. And that's kind of what the affirmation is too as well. It's really just letting go of what no longer serves you, what you feel isn't right. I like to say that your gut feeling, your intuition is your direct contact to your higher self, your spirit guides, to source. That's how these higher beings connect with you, through your gut and intuition. That's why, like, intuition, like crystal, let's just take crystals for example, like lapis lazuli, or like just indigo colored kind of crystals are for the third eye chakra. Third eye chakra is usually of course, and I know I talk about chakras, okay, like we'll get into that, but your third eye chakra is mostly based about intuition, you know, like when you open your third eye chakra, it boosts your intuition. So where was I going with this? Intuition, third eye chakra, higher consciousness, higher frequency. There you go. Sorry, literally. Okay, I've been watching like manic videos. Okay, I only watched one manic video on YouTube, and I just see them like jump around, and I'm like, am I manic? Nah, I'm not. I just like have like active brain, I guess, and it just jumps around like thought to thought. So I have to like rethink like certain key points so I can remember the whole idea. So yes, when you're opening your third eye chakra, supposedly, you're boosting up your intuition. You're connecting to the higher frequencies, because in order to, reach that point, you have to be on that frequency. You have to be resonating with that frequency. So it gives you that that connection. You see with your third eye, you see things that aren't really there. You can connect with things that aren't really there. That's that direct connection. So why did I start talking about that? I don't know why I started talking about that. I literally do this all the time. You guys must hate me for this. You're like, man, this girl, like, she says stuff that's good, but then most of the time I don't understand what she's saying. I hope you guys can bear with me. It's good stuff, I promise you. But anyways, I don't know where I was going with that, so I'm just gonna keep going with the walking away stuff. So, oh yeah, I guess following your intuition, following your intuition to see what's really working and what's not working out for you. We're really tapping in and tuning in with ourselves, and we're kind of seeing things from an outer perspective rather than being in it, being in your daily, like, busy life. You don't really get to step out and view it and see, like, okay, what is really happening? What am I doing? Where am I going? How am I progressing? Stuff like that. So we're really taking out that time to do that. And we're also letting ourselves move on from stuff. We're taking this time to move on from stuff. So, as you know, with these cards, they come with affirmations. If you resonate with this letting go, moving on, there's a second card to be pulled. But the affirmation for this card is, you might want to write this down, memorize it, is, it is safe and comfortable for me to move on. I consider all my options and then take action on my own behalf. It is safe and comfortable for me to move on. I consider all my options and then take action on my own behalf. I consider all my options and then take action on my own behalf. So I really like the ending phrase of that affirmation. I consider all of my options and then take action on my own behalf. So first off, I like, it's safe and comfortable for me to move on. It is safe and comfortable for you to move on. It's always safe and comfortable for you to move on. You are meant to be your greatest version, be your best version, be selfish. And not selfish in the way where you don't consider others, but put yourself first. Because how can you help others without helping yourself first? I always say that. So if you feel the need to move on from something, if it feels right to let go of something, then absolutely believe that and let it go. Do what's always best for you. I like that I consider all of my options and then take action on my own behalf. On my own behalf, you take action. Don't consider other people in making life decisions and choices that only, they have to do with you. It's your life. It's your decisions. Other people's opinion may matter to you, but don't take it so to the heart that, you're basing your life off of others' opinions and choices that they want you to make. Maybe they're projecting. They want you to make the choices that they could have or would have or would, because maybe they have different life goals. Maybe they see life in a certain way that they think, okay, life should be like this. And then they want you to live according to their own blueprint. So take action on your own behalf. Consider people's opinions if they matter to you, but also consider your opinion more because it is your life. So take theirs into consideration and then maybe also balance it out. It could be something with your parents. You have to make a big life decision and your parents are telling you to do one thing when you really feel like you should do another. Maybe you can find a balance, how you can, if you want to please them or if you want to, take their opinion into great consideration, then kind of like, negotiate with them or find a balance, find a middle point for you guys. I I also really like that I consider all of my options. This kind of goes with, you know, when you're walking away and you're seeing things from a bigger viewpoint, from the outer perspective. Then when you're looking forward to, okay, now what do I do? Consider all of your options. This also goes with, you know, having a bigger picture, seeing the bigger picture. You know, you can consider some options, but those options may only be what's within your viewpoint, within your perspective. So take on other people's perspectives, not take on like as your own perspective, but see them as well. Have a wider view and range of options that you can choose from or that you can take, and go with what resonates with you. And of course, take action on your own behalf. Okay, so I love the second card that I pulled after. So kind of when I pulled this card, I was like, wow, walking away. Like what comes from this? What comes from walking away? And the card that I got was the third chakra, Archangel Chamuel. Chamuel or Chamuel? I think it's Chamuel. And it's an angel, I guess, because he has like giant wings, and he's holding this huge like ball of energy in front of his solar plexus, and then he has like the ring of enlightenment around him, like over his head, like the halo kind of thing. And the third chakra has to do with emotions of desire and life force energy. It's your solar plexus. So what this card is saying, you have to move towards your desires. This energy that you're holding, you have it. And this could be a result from you know, walking away, letting go. It's kind of like when you have like a blood clot, I guess you can say, or like something stopping your blood from flowing, right? And then you know, let it go. It like kind of like goes away. Then your blood starts flowing again. So whatever that thing that you're walking away from, once you walked away, it cleared that space and allowed the energy to flow. So now you're full of all this life force energy. And it's kind of like, you know, like, okay, like what do I do now? You have all this energy, and, you know, now you're on a new path. You let go. It's kind of like me, for example. I let go of my apartment. So it's kind of like I stepped into the unknown. I let go of everything that I knew. And now I have only this huge road ahead of me, which I don't know what to do. So that's kind of like what it is. And you have all this energy, you have increased like enthusiasm, and you just wanna go. You just wanna like do action, you know what I mean? Like, just, you get it. So, you know, your energy is full with power, and this is your soul. This is your soul calling you to direct it someplace. So it's like, okay, you let go of this. Now you have all of this energy. What are you going to do with it? These are seeing your options, viewing your options. What is the path that you want to take right now? And this is your soul talking to you. This is the higher self, I guess you can say. And what it's saying is go for it. Whatever it is, you have to view your options. You have the energy to do it. Now it's just putting in the action to actually do it. And that's really what it is. So, lo and behold, your card reading was that, you know, it's time to walk away from something. Maybe you just did. Maybe you're contemplating it. Maybe you're in the middle of doing it, you know, and you don't know what's ahead of you. But what Source is trying to tell you right now, through me speaking to you, is that you have it within you to choose what it is that you want to do now and to go for it. Why? Because Source has your back. That's what it is. And we're going to talk a little about trust too. But you know, you wouldn't be receiving these messages to go do something if it wasn't gonna carry on, or if it wasn't gonna make you a better person, or if it wasn't gonna help you experience things that you need to experience. So yes, your affirmation for this card of the third chakra, Archangel Chamuel. I don't know if that's his name. It's spelled like this, Chamuel, like Samuel, but instead of an S, it's like CH. So, Shamuel, or like Chamuel, or Shamuel, I don't know. Anyways, your affirmation is, my third chakra is open to its perfect, healthy state. I feel like you guys got this card before. My third chakra is open to its perfect, healthy state. I radiate a bright and vibrant life force energy. I radiate a bright and vibrant life force energy. I feel excitement for all that I do. I feel excitement for all that I do. Again, my third chakra is open to its perfect, healthy state. I radiate a bright and vibrant life force energy. I feel excitement for all that I do. Now, you know what I just realized as that I'm saying is that, I'm giving you guys these affirmations, but maybe you guys don't know how to use them, or maybe you don't know what affirmations are. So what these are is that, you could kind of go into my earlier videos. I'm not too sure if I have like law of attraction titled ones. I'm pretty sure I do. I think like the number one thing you're like, I don't know. Just look for the words like manifest, law of attraction, and yeah, and just throughout the episodes, I always mention it. That's kind of like one of my main topics. Just because I've experienced it firsthand, like I know it to be true because I've experienced it firsthand. Like I'm not just talking out my ass. So basically what this is, and kind of a brief overview of law of attraction, is that your thoughts create your reality. Now I go way deeper into this in the Hermetic Principles episode, law of attraction episode, whatever. And I'm not going to go into details of how it happens because I do in other videos. But since your thoughts create your reality, the main thing people who exercise the law of attraction and try to manifest their lives is that they put intentions out into the universe. Whatever their intentions are, they inhabit those intentions, that reality, so that they can kind of create that reality for themselves. And that kind of goes along with, switching paradigms. These are all things you can look up, like keywords you can look up and read about. Switching paradigms, jumping into realities, that's kind of different, but very much part of it. And yeah, mostly law of attraction though. So affirmations, what it is putting your intentions out in the universe, but not saying like, I want to go there, like, oh, I want to move to Paris, for example. Like, you saying you want to move to Paris, it's very tricky, the law of attraction. You have to inhabit it as if you already have it. And that's it kind of goes hand in hand with the, realities kind of thing, like jumping realities. And it's kind of like, I don't want to deeply explain it because I feel like I can talk about it forever. I'm trying to briefly explain it, but what it is that, okay, everything is frequency, right? I'm a big advocate for multiple realities, multi-dimensional beings, So there's all these different realities for every single situation. So I don't know which episode I talked about this in, but I definitely talked about this in detail in an episode about how in one reality, oh, I'm, scratching my head right now, and then in another reality I'm singing to you guys. It's just, there's a reality to every single situation. So, and all of these realities vibrate at different frequencies, right? So there is a reality that you are rich. There's a reality that you already live in Paris. So what you have to do is tune your frequency now to the frequency of that reality that's existing. So what you need to do is tune your reality into the reality that you already live in Paris. Now, how do you do that? You have to raise your vibration. You have to put those intentions, the intentions of living in Paris, of already living in Paris, into your reality now, so that your reality adjusts to that frequency. If you keep saying, I live in Paris, I live in Paris, I live in Paris, that holds its own frequency of you living in Paris. So the more you put it out in this reality, the more this reality is gonna attune to that frequency. And then eventually you'll be on the frequency where you're living in Paris. So that's kind of how it works. So affirmations are these intentions, inhabiting those intentions in the present moment. Not I want to, I'm going to, I have to. It's I am doing, I am being. It is present. There is only now. There is no past, future. Literally, the future is just moments of now. Like, it's just gonna be now. It's always gonna be now. Like, you will always be here now. So, it's creating that reality for yourself now, because it doesn't exist in the future. It's existing now, just in another reality. So what you have to do is that you have to tune yourself to that reality now. That's the key of it. So to create your own affirmations, like I live in Paris, I am rich, I am abundant, I am prosperous, I receive money randomly all the time. I literally get checks in my mailbox all of the time. Like, random money, I don't even know where it's coming from. So you see where I'm coming, like, how I'm speaking? I'm speaking as present moment, as if it's a fact. Oh yeah, I have my own apartment in Los Angeles, California. That's something I used to say all of the time when I was in my senior year of high school. And I had it written on my walls. This is another cool thing. I should make a manifesting video. I think I've made a manifesting videos. Surround yourself with the things that you're trying to put into your reality. So I had like signs all over my room saying, I have my own apartment in Los Angeles, California. I live in Los Angeles, California. I live in California. Like, palm trees everywhere. All the clothes I wore had like California on it. And in my head, I absolutely believed I lived in California, which I didn't, but I created that reality for myself somehow. I somehow got the opportunity to come out here. I somehow got the opportunity to get my own apartment at the age of 20. Like, who does that, really? So, it's insane. So, you can manifest small things. It's like, somebody's gonna give me free food today. Somebody is giving me free food today. That's what it is. Somebody is giving. See how there's a difference? And I used to do that all the time in school, also during the time where I was doing the whole Los Angeles, California stuff, because I was always so hungry. Like, I just wanted people to give me food. So I was like, oh yeah, somebody's gonna give me food, somebody's gonna give me a drink, and it would always happen. So you can kind of exercise this with smaller things. And as you see them come into fruition in your face, you're like, wow, this really works. Now I can work towards bigger things. You know what I mean? So that's how affirmations work. So these affirmations saying, my third chakra is open to its perfect healthy state. It is safe and comfortable for me to move on. These are also psychological things. It is safe and comfortable for me to move on. So like, you're convincing yourself that it is safe and comfortable for you to move on. Instead of you being anxious and worried and scared, you're attuning your brain and your psychology to absolutely believe that it is safe and comfortable for you to move on. And it is. Don't say like, oh, like, I believe it is, but it's really not. Like, it always is. Unless you feel deep down that it's not. That's going with your intuition. But that's kind of how affirmations work. Very lightly. You can always, look it up. How do affirmations work? Law of attraction, all that stuff. So yeah, that was kind of that brief overview. I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. So today's episode, how long have I been talking? Oh, not that long. Today's episode, I literally so I have this whole plan thing. I want to talk about ego and stuff, but I'm waiting for the right time to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it today because I was just like, oh my gosh, I need to, hurry up and start this episode. So, in today's episode, I will be talking about kind of how, it's kind of about perseverance, and it's kind of how to persevere. I guess you can say that. It'll probably be in the title, how to persevere. But how to persevere more. You hear this airplane? How to persevere in this situation that we're in right now. So for me, for example, it's kind of, it's been kind of hard to, like, well, no, actually, no, it hasn't been kind of hard. It's just, like, trying not to fall. Okay, well, for me, it's trying not to fall into these thoughts and mindsets. But for others, it just may be really hard. So, it's a lot of mental strength, guys, I'm telling you. So, it's kind of like, it kind of goes with the card reading, too. Like, okay, how am I gonna go about this? And that's kind of like my position, you know. I'm not working completely. I still have to pay rent. I still have to eat and stuff. I still have a lot of money, so, like, I'm okay. But just me not working as much makes me feel like I'm not doing anything. It makes me feel like I'm losing a lot of money. I'm really not, but it just makes me feel that way. So I feel like I have to keep working or like find a job, and it's just like also really hard at this time because, you know, people are getting laid off and people are getting fired. Like, there's not a lot of work because there's not a lot of work that needs to be done because nobody's really doing anything right now. Everybody's still kind of stagnant. As we're moving back into, you know, the reopening of society, it's still very stagnant and it's still very slow moving. So there's not really high demand for workers right now. So it's kind of like, how do I persevere through this? Like, how do I keep going? I see that, you know, there's not that many jobs available for me. You know, there's not, and this kind of goes with creating your reality too. Like, me saying this, like, that's just creating not jobs, like, available for me. But, you know, that's something to get used to, like, watching your thoughts, watching your words and stuff like that. But, this is kind of like how to persevere through that. You know, you may be going through a rough time right now because of this financially, spiritually. You may be somebody who dreams of being self-employed, me, i.e. And you have like a niche, right? So you have something that you want to do, that you want to become self-employed by, be it, you know, social media influencer, an artist, a music artist. I was gonna say music person. Just somebody who creates, an artist basically, a creator, and you want to become self-employed off of your talents, your arts. So, but you're not feeling, you know, you usually have that, excuse me, that backup kind of income, you know what I mean? You have like your regular job to support your dreams of becoming self-employed. So you may be feeling less inspired, or you're just feeling less inspired because you've been stuck in the house. You know, maybe you're working from home, but like literally home and sitting on the couch and the bed, and it's keeping you like in this energy that just doesn't really want to make you do too much. So this is kind of just how to persevere through this stagnant energy that's kind of happening right now collectively, and how you can keep working towards your dreams and, you know, push through. So, How to Persevere by Natalia Lee. No, I'm joking. So first thing I could say is have a clear vision. Have a clear vision. It's kind of like, okay, know what you want to do. Know what you want to do. Know what you want the outcome of your life to be. And then work from there. So start from the end. I've heard this from somewhere. I'm not too sure where. Maybe I read it in a book, or I heard it from a YouTuber or like motivational person. I don't know. But start from the end. See what you want the end of your life to be. And how are you gonna work towards that? That sounds so depressing. Okay, it's not meant to be depressing. It's not like how are you gonna work towards your death? Like, no, it's not like that. What do you want, you know, the peak point of your life, right? Maybe it's you having a giant mansion, you're well known for your music, you know, you're surrounded by family, you have the car you always dreamed of. How are you gonna get there? That's the end result I'm talking about. I'm not talking about what kind of coffee you're gonna have. I'm talking about that result. That pinnacle point. Is that the peak is the pinnacle? I think so. I don't know. Correct me, please. I don't know. I think so, though. What is that point? How are you going to get there? Have a clear vision. So know what you're going to do. That's the first step. Know what you want to do. Then write it out. How are you going to go about that? How are you going to go about that? Maybe it's through your music. Okay, how are you going to get there through your music? Are you going to record music? You're going to record music now. You're going to send it to what, producers, or, you know, kind of self-sell it, advertise yourself? How are you going to go about that? So it's kind of like that, you know, you see the end result, and you're not going to see, you know, the complete middle way, because of course the future, in parentheses, quotation marks, quotation marks, the future, you know, you don't really what's going to be in the middle point. And that's kind of what they say when we talk about law of attraction, you know, is know what you want, but don't get so specific on how you're going to get there, because then you close yourself off to opportunities that will present themselves that will help you get there, but you have this narrow viewpoint of how you're going to get there. So you deny those opportunities to come to you into your life because, you know, I'm going to get here this way. Like, maybe it's not going to go that way, but you're still going to get there. You just got to go a different way. You know what I mean? So have a clear vision of what you want specifically and what you're going to do now to get there. Don't focus on what's going to happen in between. What are you going to do now that is going to get you to that point? And another big thing is motive. So this kind of goes along with having a clear vision. I think I learned this yesterday, is have a motive of what you're going to do. So what is your purpose? What is your reason for doing what you want to do? So say it's music, right? You're an artist, you're a rapper, you're a singer. What are you going to achieve through your music other than what? Financial security, fame? Maybe it's kind of egotistical, who knows? So what is your motive? What is your purpose for doing this? Is it to inspire others? How are you inspiring others? Maybe through your journey, seeing that you can have this nice lifestyle coming from maybe, you know, the ghetto, the slums. And if you put in, you know, the initiation, I feel like I've just been using words like all wrong today. It is initiation. If you're putting in the, you know, the initiation, you know what I'm thinking of? Because I'm thinking of like, oh, I've been initiated into this cult or like something like that. So I'm like, but then no, I'm pretty sure initiation is like the same, like different meaning. I'm a writer. I should be good at this kind of stuff, but I always look it up, you know. I haven't been at school in a while, guys, and nor have I been like self-teaching myself English. I haven't been in school since 2016, but literally like everything I learn is just what I choose to learn. Like I'm constantly learning. It's just like what I'm choosing to learn, and it's not vocabulary, obviously. So like I was saying, so maybe it's that kind of journey that, you know, you're going to use to inspire others. Maybe it's your words, you know, you're telling people your story. Maybe you're telling them that they can become your greatest version, that they can create their realities, you know, stuff. It doesn't have to be that specifically, but, you know, like, think about how, like, what it is that you want to accomplish through whatever it is that you're doing. For example, to my writing, what do I want to accomplish from my writing? I want to express myself through my writing. You can do that through music as well, and many other things, art, painting, but also talk about, you know, my journey as somebody who is on the path of self-realization, somebody who has been, you know, not on their own completely, but you know, since they were 18, 19, and, you know, being on this path and having this kind of soul mission that calls to them, and how I've been battling ego, and how it's so hard to, you know, live in a society like this while also having a different mindset of a different time. So it's kind of just like expressing my feelings, talking about my journey, and letting people know, because maybe, you know, there's probably hella people out there that are experiencing the same thing as me, who have felt as lonely as me, who want that kind of community, who want to relate to someone, to something, you know? So it's creating that relation for people, for me, is letting people know that they're not alone. And I feel like that's a lot, that's the purpose for a lot of people, a lot of you guys. It's to kind of connect, you know? I feel like humans as humans, we're always looking for that connection, that soul connection, somebody who understands you to the deepest level, you know what I mean? Not just like, oh, we like the same music, oh, we like the same this, blah. It's actually truly understanding each other and feeling that connection between souls. So that's the main thing. Motive. Figure out what it is why do you want to do? The kind of question that goes with this is, where is your money gonna go? Where is your money gonna go? Say you become rich, right? You become famous, you become rich, you have all this money. Where is it gonna go? Is it gonna go into your lavish lifestyle? Is it gonna go into, your hair appointments? Or maybe it's gonna go to charity. Maybe it's gonna go to creating housing for people. Maybe it's gonna go into something that gives back. So now, the way that the universe works, and I can't say that I completely understand the universe because I absolutely don't, and maybe I could be wrong, but from what I've understood through ancient philosophies and teachings and just things that I've experienced firsthand, and it's kind of karma. So whatever you put out comes back. Now that you're getting all of this, prosperity, that abundance, it's just flowing in, but it's not going out. And that's kind of what we talk about a lot when we talk about, law of attraction. You want abundance in your life. You want to attract money. You want to attract abundance, but you're not being abundant yourself by being sparingly with your money. So, you want all this money, but you're holding all this money within you because you don't want to let it go, because you feel like you don't have enough of it, so you have to hold on to it. And that's kind of what blocks you from receiving that abundance, is because you're not letting it flow. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. Think of a circle or an arrow going into a circle. It's a cycle. As it comes in, it has to go out, and that's how you keep it flowing. That's how life flows effortlessly. So think about, where is your money gonna go? Once you have it, what are you gonna do with it? What is your true purpose of having this? Maybe you want to make music and become rich so that you can help people in your neighborhood, or maybe you were homeless for a while and you want to help other homeless people. I've been watching a lot of Invisible People episodes on YouTube, which is just this guy interviewing homeless people and their stories. So that's kind of why I keep going back to housing and homeless people. So find that. Where's your money gonna go? Have a clear vision. Have a motive. What's your end point? How are you gonna get there? And why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? And how are you gonna give back? So that's kind of the viewpoint. You have it all set in your face, this is what I'm gonna do, this is how I'm gonna do about it, and this is what I'm gonna do with it. So now that you have that, it's actually going about it. So now we go back to mid-coronavirus, stuck inside, uninspired, unmotivated, and you want to know, how can I carry out this mission? I know what I want to do, etc., etc. What do I do now? How do I go about it? I don't have the energy. And I cannot stress this enough, is schedules, consistency. Consistent schedules. Now, this takes mental strength. This goes along with, being vegan. Vegan takes a lot of mental strength, especially, if you like meat or fish and stuff. It's kind of a struggle I've been going through right now, but I'll talk about that later. Schedules. Now, why do I stress schedules so much? Well, if you have a consistent schedule, at this time I'm going to do this, at this time I'm going to do that. Sorry. Then you have enough time to go about it. I'm going to light some Palo Santo. This Palo Santo always reminds me of Eric, the one that I mentioned in my breathwork experience episode. I'm not which episode that was. It's my first breathwork experience, and he was the one who guided it. This is the same Palo Santo he gave me too. He as soon as the session ended, he ran up to me and handed it to me. He's like, "You like Led Zeppelin?" I was like, "What the heck?" I just had this intense spiritual experience, and the teacher runs up to me and gives me Palo Santo, and he's like, "You like Led Zeppelin?" Because he saw my tattoo. Yeah. So schedules. So when you have enough time, right? Okay, so you set the schedule for yourself, and maybe you could write it down like, okay, at this time I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it for this long. I'm gonna do it for this long. It does something to your brain. It does something to you where you want to stay consistent with it because you see progress being made. So another real quick thing that I want to mention is exercise. If you're just sitting around doing nothing on the couch watching TV, if you're just sitting around and being lazy, you're not letting energy flow. You're not letting energy flow. I cannot stress this enough. You are not letting energy flow. And since you're not letting energy flow, inspiration will not be created. Creativity will not be created. Your motivation will not be created because you're not letting the energy flow in those places. These things happen because energy is flowing. Energy is abundant. So you have these creative spurts, inspiration. You want to just do. That's what happens when energy flows. But when you're stagnant, you feel unmotivated, you feel all this, and it's because you're not moving. You're not actually getting up to try. So once you get past that, then that's when the stuff happens. That's when the creativity happens. That's when the blood starts flowing through your brain. You know, you're activating parts that aren't usually activated when you're just laying down. And it's creating inspiration for you and ideas. And you know who talks to you through inspiration? Source talks to you. Your higher self talks to you. Your spirit guides talk to you through inspiration. You can just be walking and out of nowhere you get a brilliant idea to create this project. That could be the project that gets you to that place, that end goal that you want. And it happened out of nowhere. It happened while you were taking a walk and you saw a leaf or you saw a crack on the sidewalk. So it's getting up. It's getting up and putting in the little tiny bit of energy that you have to create the more energy. Now, I may do an episode on how to create more energy, how to create more life force energy, ki, chi, prana, flow. But this is one of my main ways, I would say. Get up. You don't even have to exercise. You don't even have to work out. Just go for a walk. Go for a walk every day. Put yourself on a schedule and go for a walk every day for 1 hour. Do it right now. No, I'm joking. But no, actually do that. That's a really good idea. Or go run. If you want to exercise, go exercise. I enjoy yoga. Do yoga. Yoga, you know what yoga is? Yoga is a spiritual practice. It's not even an exercise. The exercise is like the benefits of it. You know, us Western, like in America and all that, like we have yoga classes and it's all advertised as a freaking exercise. It's a spiritual practice, guys. That's where it originated from. It came from India and it was used as a spiritual practice. You know what yoga means? It means to come into union. Come into union with yourself and with God. Through the poses that you do, the breathing techniques, it's tuning your frequency and aligning yourself onto the vibration where you have direct contact with your higher self and source. So I suggest yoga. One, it keeps the blood flowing, your energy flowing by, opening up these spaces in your body because that's where energy is held, in your body. And it opens up these spaces that may be blocked from you not doing anything. And it will create that, it raises your vibration, first of all, because it's creating that energy space. And then, thus, the artistry flows. So schedules are very important. Just putting yourself on a schedule puts you in that mindset that you're doing something. You feel like stuff is getting done. You feel, since you're doing something, you just automatically feel motivated. Like, I did all of this stuff today. I got stuff done. I can't wait until tomorrow when I do it all over again. And hey, you may get tired, but that's where perseverance comes in. That's when you have to realize, do I really want to achieve this end goal? Do you really want to achieve this end goal? Because if you do, you'd put in the work. It may be hard sometimes, but if you really want it, you'll put in the work. If you're not doing it, you must really not want it. That's all I gotta say. I sound all mad. That's all I gotta say. But it's true. If you're not gonna put in the work, then you really must not want it. Because it takes work. Whatever it is, you're not gonna get there easy. If it's meant to be what you're meant to do, like, if that's what you're meant to do through universal law, you're not gonna get there easily. And maybe you will. Maybe you will because you had a good, karmic cycle your last life. Who knows? It's Buddhist speaking. But, so, schedules. It creates that within you. It gives you more time in the day to do what you want. If you're not on schedule, you might be waking up late. You might have to, do laundry, cook food. And it might be like already nighttime and you don't get to do what you want to do. So if you put yourself on a consistent schedule, you have more hours in the day to do everything that it is that you want to accomplish. Now, consistency, that was the next thing that I wrote. And this takes mental strength. Consistency is keeping it consistent. Keeping it consistent. And it's all about the main viewpoint, guys. You have to, if you really want it, you will go there. You will put in the work to go there. You will be consistent. You will have that mental strength. You will have that mental strength for it. And you just got to stay consistent. That's where the progress comes in, is, getting the work done consistently. Another thing is balance. Now, because of this time that we're in, and even if we weren't in this time, it's balancing that. Okay, so now you're going to work towards your goals, right? You're going to work towards your dreams. But putting in the work every day, just going like nonstop, like putting in the work every day, you're going to tire yourself out to the point where you're not going to want to do it anymore, guys. You're going to tire yourself out. And this is why balance is such a key aspect in this reality, in this universe, in your life, is because the balance that you take as you flow effortlessly through life, things will happen effortlessly. So what I mean by balance is that you're putting in the work, but you're also giving yourself that relaxation time, that time for yourself, that time to hang out with your friends, your loved ones, that time to just relax, not think about putting in the work. Yeah, you can talk about it all you want. It's your dream. What the hell? Talk about it. But you don't always have to consistently be worrying your mind with, okay, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? That will overwhelm you, and you may feel unmotivated because you don't know what to do. Or you just may like feel stagnant because you're pulling yourself in all these different directions. Like, I gotta go here, like, what do I do? And you just stay still because of that. So going back to the schedule, maybe you can have, Monday through Friday to put in the work, and then you have the weekends for yourself. Or maybe you want to do it through the day. So Monday, Tuesday, you put in the work. Wednesday, Thursday, you don't put in the work. Or just Wednesday, you just have a day off. Thursday, Friday, you put in the work. Then Saturday's your day off. Maybe Sunday too. Who knows? Set your schedule accordingly to your lifestyle. Know yourself. That's the best thing. What do you like to do? What is the thing that's, keeping you unmotivated? What's making you not want to do anything? For example, mine is watching anime. I love watching anime. But sometimes I get stuck watching it. I've been watching actually Japanese dramas, not even anime. But animes and dramas. Just TV, for example. It keeps me, like, I'm hooked on it, like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? And next I'm literally in bed all day just watching a show. I'm like, yeah, but this is my off day, this is a rough time, I gotta get through this. But what that is just giving yourself excuses on why you're not actually getting stuff done. And they are excuses, and they're not really reasonable points. But, so, creating that balance for yourself, mine's is, again, like, my weakness is anime and dramas. Also hanging out, like wanting to go out and do stuff like with my friends and stuff. That's also like another thing, but I rarely do that. It's more like just me being here, like just wanting to watch anime or like YouTube, and like read books and stuff. Just like do like random things instead of like writing. I haven't written in a while, and I was gonna write something yesterday. Like, I have like this 300 writing prompts book, and no, I didn't like any of the writing prompts. But I might do like a writing prompt Wednesday, guys. Okay, but anyways, that'll be in the updates in the end. So yes, it's just like, wanting to do whatever, just chill, relax. But that's kind of like, you have to create that balance. So you can have these days where you can relax and do your own thing. But then you have to have these days where you're gonna put in the work. And that's how you keep the consistency. That's how you keep the schedule. You keep yourself balanced. And that's how you keep going from this point on. You're not overwhelming yourself with work. You're not underwhelming yourself with stuff. So these are kind of like my key aspects of how to persevere through everything that has been happening, and how, you may be feeling right now. And it's all I gotta say is you gotta keep going, guys. You have to have that clear vision of what you want. And I started making a vision board yesterday. I talk about this a lot, is make a vision board. Create your vision. Create your end plan on a vision board. I have like a bulletin board, like a small bulletin board, and go through magazines, newspapers, cut out things, print out stuff, write your intentions. What's the end point? What do you want to see your life like? What do you want to see in your life? And hang it somewhere where you look at it every day. You can look at it every day and be like, this is what I'm working towards. This is how my life is. And this is how I created, I manifested my life here in California. So it's putting that vision of the reality you want to attune yourself into in front of your face every day until your life attunes to that reality. So vision boards are great. So my key aspects for how to persevere is have the clear vision, have the motive, know how you're going to go about it, what you want to do, how you're going to go about it, and what are you going to do when you get there? What is going to happen after that? Put yourself on a schedule. Be consistent and balance it. Be consistent and balance it. And get your body moving. Go for a walk at least. Put some kind of physical movement into your schedule. And last but not least, trust. I mentioned this earlier that I was going to talk about a little bit about trust. But we are getting to an hour, surprisingly. So trust is the final thing. I just want to say, trust the process. I talk about this all the time, is trust the process. Everything that is happening now is supposed to be happening. If you don't like what's happening, change it, because you have the power to do so. You are the creator of your reality. And just believe that since you are the creator of your reality and you're trying to create a certain reality for yourself, trust the process in between, because you're moving towards this, because you're putting in the initiative. The initiative, that was the word, initiation? Yeah, you're putting in the initiative. That's what the word was. Now that I said it like so effortlessly, I was like, initiation, the initiative, there you go. Two completely different words. But yes, now that you're putting the initiative to achieve these goals, that energy of you working towards it, the universe is going to help you. That's how the law of attraction works. If you don't put in the work, it's not going to happen. You can sit on your ass all day and try to manifest something. And hey, if you have the power to do so, you may. I talked about this in the episode of a phone call with NRG Synchronized, towards the end of the episode, where I asked him, do you think it's possible to manifest something without absolutely doing anything? And he says that it's possible if people are up there. And I absolutely believe that if you have that power, then you can do it. But a lot of us don't have that power, and we need to put in the work. So, because we're not used to this, people who have that power, probably some like sadhus, like up there, frequency creation wise. So you got to put in the work and trust everything that's happening, because you're putting in the work. Because you're putting in the work, trust the process. If you're not putting in the work and stuff is happening, I'd feel a little iffy too. So I would take control of my reality. Take control of your reality. Put in the work and trust the process. Now, that concludes this week's episode. So I guess the whole conclusion is, it's time to let go, move on from stuff. I'm getting all excited and like squatting. Let go of what no longer serves you. See that you have all this energy. available to you now and use it to focus your goals, to persevere towards your goals. Persevere towards your goals. It's about to be June, guys. It's about to be June. You know, it might just be June by next week's episode. So this is a great time for vision boards. I already started creating mine. Know what you want. Know that whatever is leaving your life is meant to leave. Trust the process and create that vision for yourself that you want to see. Right now, it's very stagnant. It's a very empty space because it's allowing you to choose what you want to do after this. You're given this time to choose, to pick, to see your choices. Now, some updates I would like to say. What was the update that I mentioned? Oh, I think I'm gonna do a writing prompt Wednesday. Now, I have this writing prompt book, but I really don't like... Look, I'm gonna pull it for you guys right now. They're not even, like, writing prompts. They're, like, journal prompts. Like, what is something you would like to see invented that would make your life easier? When was the last time you felt needed? What do you prefer, sunrise or sunset? Like, these are just questions. They're not writing prompts. Like, I like a good writing prompt. Like, pretend you're a dragon in a dark cave, or like something weird, and then like I have to like write like that. Like, that's the kind of writing prompts I want. So I'll probably like look up some, but I'm thinking about doing a writing prompt Wednesday. I am also planning on writing a e-zine, a digital zine. Maybe later I'll print out physical copies, but nobody's really, you know, doing physical stuff right now. I mean, I could do a physical copy and then like mail it to you. I think that's what I was gonna do. I think that was what I was gonna do, but then I decided to change it to like an e-zine where you can just like download it and then like I email it to you. So I started working on that yesterday, and then I started looking into like platforms where I can do that, because I've made physical zines like where I just like print out stuff and then like physically make it and then make copies, but I've never like completely made it digitally. So I've been like yesterday I just like researched platforms, kind of experimented with some, and then I kind of got tired of that and then started working on my vision board. So I have a zine in the midst of the making. Don't hold me to that it'll happen super fast, mainly because I'm still in the works looking for a job. But, you know, as I'm going to be working on this, so maybe you'll expect it sooner than later. DM me, guys. Write to me on, I think you can write to me on Anchor. I know I say this all the time, but I really don't know. I made a spam page. Okay, so this is so funny. I made a spam page to all my family who's listening to this. You're not gonna see this spam page, I'm sorry. But to anybody who's interested, I think I'm gonna hold it private for a while. Oh no, it's not private right now, but it's just a spam page where I spam pictures of myself and like repost. So I have so many screenshots on my phone, but like mainly specific stuff and like training and stuff like that. So it's just gonna be like a mixture of me and like tips on how you can do stuff. Like just repost of things that I find really like worth saving in my phone, and I just want to repost it. So that's just what it is. So I'm just gonna be like spamming a bunch of pictures, and that's why it's a spam page. But the stories might be a little weird. Anyways, so there's that. What else? Zine, spam page. I think that was it. I was gonna mention something else, but I really don't remember, guys. I'm so sorry. But yeah, DM me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Natalia of Earth. Natalia of Earth. You are more than welcome to DM me, suggest some things, ask me some questions, and I will answer them in future episodes. And I will probably even answer you right then and there. If you have problems, like, I will try to help you through it to a certain extent. I get so many of you, like, I literally appreciate it so much, because I love helping you guys, especially when I feel like it can be helped, you know what I mean? But then, like, sometimes, you guys, you just don't get it. Like, and then, yeah, I'm not a therapist, you know, so I can't really explain it to the point where, you know, I have, like, I can, like, completely explain it to where you understand it. I can only explain it from the point that I understand it. And it's kind of difficult for me because, you know, I have this, and, you know, I wasn't even able to do this, like, years ago. Literally years ago, like, nobody would come to me for advice because I literally did not care. I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'd give you, like, super crappy advice. But now I'm to the point where, you know, I'm trying to help people. It's kind of like my main life goal. And I'm getting better with it. That's what it is. And my main issue now is patience, mainly because I understand things that a lot of people don't. So when I try to explain, like, when I'm trying to help somebody with a situation and I'm trying to explain it from the viewpoint that I understand it, it's kind of frustrating that they're not, you know, understanding from the viewpoint that I am. But it's completely understandable. So that's why I said I can only help you to a certain extent, because, like, I can only explain it to the point that, like, I understand it. So I don't know if that makes any sense. Kind of an example is, like, somebody's having girl trouble, but the problem really is you in the situation. From everything that I've, you know, viewed, these are kind of like the main things that I get, is like people have like relationship problems, and I mostly see that it's kind of the other person, the person who's coming to me, who's the problem in the relationship, and I'm trying to not tell them that they're the problem in the relationship, but make them see the perspective of the other person and see it from an outer perspective as well, and kind of come from both ways to a mutual understanding. But when somebody's stuck in their own mindset, they don't see themselves as the problem, so they're very much, they very much keep looking outward for answers. I keep going here for answers, I keep going there for answers, I can't seem to I look everywhere and I can't seem to understand. But what they're not understanding is that they need to look within. And this is the thing that I tell everybody that comes to me for help. I always tell them to look within, because that's where the answers are. You're not seeing it because you're too busy looking outward, when the answers are really within. So anyways, I kind of got off track. Feel free to DM me again. Natalia of Earth is my Instagram. My blog page, I write blog posts every Monday. Every Monday I write a blog post on my blog. It is thewritingsofnatalia.wordpress.com. Thewritingsofnatalia.wordpress.com. And yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. I'm sorry about last week's episode. Honestly, I don't even know what I talked about last week's episode. I feel like it was just random stuff. Mainly because I was like so overwhelmed with like all the boxes, and then I didn't have my laptop charger, and it was just like, yeah, but everything is a-okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys are well, and I hope I helped you somehow in this episode. I hope I helped you somehow in any episode. I hope you guys continue to persevere, have that vision of your life, and stay inspired, and keep active, keep healthy, and that's all there is to it. So I love you guys so much. You really don't understand. Like, I'm not doing this for me. Like, I'm literally, like, when I first started this podcast, I didn't even think anybody would listen to this. Literally, I didn't think anybody would listen to this. And now I'm talking to people. Like, I'm talking to people. I'm connecting with people who are also connecting. So you literally don't understand how much it means to me when you DM me. Like, especially if I don't know you, or it's your first time listening, or like literally every person I get, it means so much to me. Like, that's why I completely encourage you to write to me, because it just keeps me going, you know? Like, if I feel like nobody's listening, like, maybe I will skip episodes. Like, I feel more motivated to do an episode every week because I know people are expecting it, people are listening. So if nobody was listening to this, I'd probably do like an episode once a month or whenever I felt like it. But anyways, I just love you guys so much, really. I really do. I appreciate it. Feel free to check out my blog, really. Like, that would be so great. My writing means so much to me, guys. Like, this podcast is one thing, but my Instagram thing is a writer. Like, I want to be a writer. I am a writer, you know what I mean? So, like, everything that I do is to draw attraction to my writing. And maybe it's not that good, I don't feel like my writing's maybe that good. but it's a huge part of my soul, of who I am. It's a big part of my journey that I feel, and I feel like I'm on this really big journey, and I want you guys to follow me with, like, through it. Like, if you haven't already, look at my mission on Instagram. I kind of go in detail, like, in the blog post that I grabbed that from, but on my highlights on my Instagram, one is called My Mission, and that's kind of like a part that I screenshot from my blog post that you can read online. But you know, somebody who has this big this heavy weight on their shoulders, to help people and to inspire people and to carry on, to travel the world, to attain this sense of self-awareness and self-realization. It's kind of a lonely journey, even though I'm supported by so many. It is very lonely because, you know, you want to find somebody to absolutely relate to in your deepest, darkest thoughts. And on this path, sometimes you really can't, you know, depending on, like, how aware you are and stuff like that. A lot of people don't understand because they don't have that type of awareness or something like that. So I really appreciate everybody. That's where I was going with that. You know, I want you to follow me on this journey. I have this big mission. And I want everybody to come with me, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, follow me, like, it's see what's happening here, it's beautiful what it is. And that's why I appreciate so much of you guys, because, you know, I feel your support, and just knowing that you support me and my mission and what I'm doing just says so much about you, because the only thing I'm doing is trying to help people become more self-aware of their thoughts, of their actions, of their words, to help humanity, to become a better person, to become their greatest version, to make the world a better version. And by you supporting that, you're also doing that. You're also putting in that work. So kudos to you guys. Again, I love you so much. I ranted for another, like, 10 minutes. Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Continue to reach out to me anywhere possible that you find. My main sources of contact are Instagram, Anchor maybe, I'm not too sure. But yeah, Instagram, definitely. I have a Facebook page. It's called Natalia, I think. I don't know. You'll find it on my blog. If you go on my blog, you'll find all my social media, all my writing, my Wattpad books, my poetry collections, my photography. Photography is another thing I'm gonna get right back into. I've been editing a lot of pictures lately, so it's been making me want to get back into photography. You'll just find everything that has to do with me on that website. Where you can read my stuff, see my stuff, stay connected with me. There's even a contact tab. You could buy my stuff. I sell bookmarks, zine, one of my first zines I still sell, a lot of stuff. Check out the store. But it's all on the website, thewritingsofnatalia.wordpress.com. Again, I love you so much, guys. Just stay amazing. Stay amazing.